Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this event. Maybe just to break kind of the ice, I would like to ask you a few questions. The first one being, how many of you have been recently on a flight? Hands up, please. Quite a few. And do you remember being told that you need to contact a crew member in case your device would start overheating or it is missing some fluids or anything of that sort, or even if it just fell beneath, like between the seats? Yes. Okay. So, and how many of you have ever been asked to attend an ugly Christmas sweater competition? You know, the ones with the lights. So, my point being is that batteries are increasing in the use of everyday products we see. They're increasingly being used in, for instance, cards. We just had St. Valentine's around the corner. We had Christmas just before. And indeed, the main issue we see is that the number of battery fires is increasing with the use of these batteries. Now, of course, this is an in-depth issue. Today, we have decided to focus on batteries stemming from electric and electrical waste, because in this cases, the batteries are generally, the main issue is that the batteries are embedded in the product, so they are not that easy to take out. But then, of course, we also see this issue across different waste streams. So my name is Veronica, as mentioned, and I'm a technical advisor working at the European Confederation of the Recycling Industries, dealing specifically with batteries and metals. Oh, thank you. Apologies about this. So here on the slide, you can see about EuRIC at a glance. So we represent more than 75 members across all of different EU member states, as well as some EFTA countries. We create a lot of jobs and have important turnover. But more or less, we are also an important voice in this debate, because here you can see that EuRIC covers different waste streams. We really try to focus on everything that we can recover and to make sure that, you know, we transform waste into a resource. So, as mentioned before, I'm specifically dealing with ferrous and non-ferrous metals, but we also do cover different waste streams such as tires, paper, plastics, textiles, end-of-life vehicles, and much more. As you might have guessed from my previous questions, the batteries and the issue with battery fires have been witnessed amongst our different members in different streams, including paper, of course, WEEE, but also textiles. So, okay, yes, here on this slide, you can see, for instance, a picture of a battery fire. You can see the wires. So we can assume this is something that was involved with electronic and electrical waste. Now, what we wanted to say is that the main issue with batteries, as was also pointed out in the video before. Thank you. So the main issue, as also pointed out by the video that Pascal showed us before, is the fact that batteries maintain a residual charge. The power that is inside the batteries can cause fires when the batteries are mechanically damaged, or for instance, they are overheated, they're improperly handled, or for instance, they're subject to incorrect operation. Oh, sorry. I thought there were questions already. So yes, indeed, the issue is that the residual charge can cause fires when the batteries are being treated improperly. This is something that we have been witnessing in the past. So as mentioned, the trend has been increasing with increase of the use of lithium-ion batteries. However, it's important also to highlight that also non-lithium battery chemistries can cause fires. However, historically, looking at the data, those figures have been pretty low over the years. Last but not least, why do battery fires occur? As mentioned before, we cannot find one cause for this problem, and we need therefore to have also multiple solutions. First of all, the increase in lithium battery use is one of the main causes, as of course we have more and more lithium-ion batteries to be treated. Additionally, we do have incidents where batteries are properly handled because they are embedded in the products. So for instance, this has been the case in the past when we had, here it's the picture of a control device. So for those of you that grew up playing with the PlayStation, for instance, and so much more, you know that in the, I would say the first models, the batteries were embedded. And of course, the issues with this is that when this product reached the end of life, it's a bit further from their design stage. So indeed, we do think that it's important to take design consideration into account when manufacturing newer products, also to allow for the number of battery fires to decrease. Last but not least, we do think this issue is also linked with the uncontrolled disposal that is due to the lack of knowledge that users of devices, electrical and electronic devices, have on batteries. So by disposing of them in an improper manner, the rate of battery fire increases. So for instance, we have also been calling for better separation at collection points and to make sure that, you know, devices which may have batteries inside them are separated earlier rather than later to avoid the occurrence of battery fires. So indeed, overall, we do think that it's not the batteries per se that are an issue, nor their residual charge, but more the improper handling, their improper handling that's the issue and the main cause of battery fires. So that would be it from my end. We want to move forward to Benny.
We've got some scope for questions. Any questions from the floor?
Thank you, Pascal. Hello, everybody. I'm Tess Potti from De Richebourg company, which is a e-waste recycler and metal recycler. It's not a question, but rather regarding what Veronica said on the improper handling of the e-waste. Maybe it's a point that will be that we will talk about on in the day, but the need for dedicated awareness campaign is really a must, and it's really a lack today. We don't have dedicated awareness campaign on the risk implied by improper sorting by the end user of an e-waste containing batteries. So it's an issue that we are moving on in France. We are not there yet, but I think with the upcoming revision of the WEEE directive, we really need to focus on this need to communicate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So there's a need for more consumer awareness campaigns, even embedded in legislation, you're saying. Any other question? Maybe a question to Veronica. If you consider all the measures that we could take, what do you think is the measure of greatest priority? Well, or let's say the lowest hanging fruit?
Well, as Tess said, increasing consumer and users' awareness on the risk of battery fires. That would be an easy information campaign, but also making sure that products are designed so that the batteries can be easily dismantled and therefore separated as not to cause further issues. I think those two are pretty low-hanging fruits that could be easily addressed.
Thank you. Everybody agrees with this conclusion? Yeah, Benny?
Really, if you consider it low-hanging fruit, from 2027, the batteries have to be removable in an easy way. That's correct. But before those appliances come in, we will be 10, 15 years later. So it's not so low-hanging, but it's a good idea.
Thank you very much. So it's a high hanging fruit. That's
It's
also
further.
important to collect the high hanging fruit. So I suggest we move to Benny because he's got the
look at the regulation and they stop this type of transportation on the road. Also, the policeman can stop. Okay, so it is a crucial point.